If you had a hole in your wall, what would you do with it? I got commissioned to turn this ventilation hole into a Fraggle Rock inspired miniature home. Join me while I cram many hours of work and myself into this 12-minute video. You ready? Let's go. Step 1. Cleaning out the hole. I dug out the hole a bit to create more space, and after a quick clean it went from this to this. Ta-da! Bear with me, it does get better. Step 2. The design phase. After taking some really accurate hand measurements and completely ignoring the fact that I bought the tape measure, I sketch out some ideas. There's a lot of miniature cuteness I want to cram into this little hole, but first, it's time for step 3. Floors, walls and lighting. Using hot glue and foil, I fill in any of the large gaps and create a base for the clay to go on. I'm gluing in the lighting as I go, and I'm using air dry clay for this. I make a little cluster with the fairy lights, which I hide behind some quartz crystals. I really love the way this turned out. Now we're moving on to the right side of the hole, and I made a little platform for the bed to go on. For the floor I'm using sand and cement. I leave it to dry for a few days and then it's time for a clean-up. It's so much easier to access from the outside of the hole. Now it's time for painting. This is what the hole looks like from the outside. I'm painting the fireplace black. And now to give it a bit of a lived-in look. And now it's time for step 4, and the part I've most been looking forward to, making all the cute accessories. First up, we're starting with the sofa. I didn't actually record this part, but here's some shots of me painting it. Also, the client wanted me to incorporate some of these little trinkets they found in the house, and I thought these little tins might work well as tables. I found this little fly in one of the tins that I'll be using a bit later. It's worth pointing out that before I started this job we did actually agree a fixed price, and let's just say I went a little bit above and beyond the pay grade. Next up, the bed. I didn't actually record this part either, but here's a shot of what it looked like before I painted it. I also decided to make a creepy little bunny. And of course, to get up to the bed, we need a ladder. Next up, lamp. I've always wanted to make a life-size version of one of these lamps, but in the meantime we'll stick to these miniature versions, much easier. Okay, next up, books, and lots of them. Oh yeah, we have a lot of books. I gave the books a little coat of varnish to help protect them. After they were finished, I decided I didn't like the fact that the print had come off the corners, so I gave them a little extra paint. I think they look much better for it. Okay, pots and pans. I kind of cheated for this. I used some miniature pots and pans that I already had and used them for templates. But actually I think it might have been easier just to make them from scratch. I'm using foam clay for this. painted them all black and I was really happy with the results, but when I put them in the hole, yeah, they're invisible. So I painted them again, and I actually prefer the way they turned out. Okay, now it's time for some cute little accessories and ornaments. So cute! Shells, shells and more shells. Apparently the people that live in this little cave house really like shells. And that little fly that came out of the tin. I'm using this little mouse skull that I got out of an owl pellet as a form of miniature taxidermy. Here's some miniature incense sticks that I printed out. Now it's time for some plants. Every good home needs some plants. Apparently the creatures that live here also like playing guitar. I'm using foam clay for the guitar too. Okay, last up I'm making a little coat hook. And that's it, here's all the accessories. But before we can put them in the hole, I've got one last job to do, some glass cutting. This is actually the first time I've ever cut glass, and let's just say I was really lucky. Quick check to see if it fits. But before I put the glass in place, I've got a couple of trinkets I'm going to stick inside while I've got access. Now it's time to move in. I'm starting at the back of the hole and working my way towards the front. Can I just say it was really awkward to get access and film and get my hand in the hole at the same time. There was many moments where I was having to work blind with my hand up in the hole. I couldn't actually see what I was doing. Oh, I just love the way this turned out. I'm starting to wish I had a hole in my own wall. Okay, so before I give you the final wow shots, I just want to say a big thank you for sticking around to the end. If you enjoyed this video, then please consider hitting that like button. That really helps my channel. Also, come back next week because I'll be making the critters that are going to be living in this hole, and I'll also be doing a little giveaway, so stick around for that. Until then, thanks again for watching, and here it is. One of the things I love about this is you can actually see this from the street. And this is what it looks like at night time. Thanks again for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to come back next week and you can see the little critters move in, and I'll also be doing that giveaway. Thanks again. Bye.